Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. We are going to be reviewing the new collection from Oden'S. This is their Saga of Freya collection and it is absolutely stunning. I feel like any collection that Oden'S comes out with is so unique. Their color stories are so well done and this collection is no exception. I feel like my aesthetic, Oden'S aesthetic aligns really well, but this collection specifically I just feel like is so me, and I think when you guys see the collection you'll be like, yep, well, that is so you, Judy. So really excited to be reviewing this for you guys today. I did get sent this collection in PR, but this video is not sponsored. Although I am affiliated with Oden'S, this video is not sponsored. So yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into my review. Okay, so we do have a lot to get through. I feel like this collection is fairly big, so I do want to break down the collection first and just give you an overview of what you can expect to see in this collection. Oden'S pricing is in euros, so I did do a rough conversion to USD, and obviously currency is always changing, so it is just a rough conversion. But first, something really random, not related to the collection. It's the bubble wrap that I got in my PR box. It is heart-shaped bubble wrap. How cute. I'm telling you guys, this collection is so up my alley. Okay, but for real, onto the products. We first have the Saga of Freya palette. This is an 18 pan palette and this goes for about $41 US, and the packaging is just stunning. It looks like a fairy tale book. But what's interesting about this palette is that it's like a duo-sided palette. So when you open it up, the first side we have the pink side, which definitely has more of your pinkier romantic tones, and then there's also a mirror next to it as well. And then we flip to the other page, we have another mirror, and then you have the blue sides, which has your greens, oranges, and a bit of neutrals there as well. So it's a little bit chunky since there is like a double-sided mirror in there, but it gives to the effect of the book. And there are actually two other palettes in the collection as well, and I think when you line them up it just looks really cute all together. And if this matches like your room's aesthetic, it'll be really nice to display on your vanity. And then like I mentioned, we have these two palettes. These are 9 pan palettes and they go for about $27 US. And the first palette we have is called Amber Tears. We have some lavender, reds, corals in there as well. Also has a mirror on the side too. And then the second palette is Chapter 2 Cat's Breath, and I love this packaging. Anything with a cat on, you guys, I love it. But this color story is blue and orange, which I feel like is a really nice contrast and super unique. So that is the second palette. And then we also have this beautiful brush set as well. It comes with the case and then you have 6 eye brushes in here, and this goes for about $35 US, which I feel like is so worth it because you get really good quality eye brushes and the case as well, which is great for traveling. And this color combo is just chef's kiss. It has that mint green faded into pink. If you guys follow Princess May on Instagram and YouTube, she has like half and half hair, and one side is mint and one side is pink. I feel like this brush set was made for her. And then we also have this like brush cleaner. This goes for about $8 US. I've actually never seen this type of brush cleaner before. I need a YouTube on how to use this. I'm pretty sure it's really straightforward, but I've really never seen this before. Am I the only one? But I didn't get a chance to use this. I just have a certain way of how I wash my brushes that I just have a habit of doing every time I do my makeup, so didn't get the chance to use this, but it is in this collection and I think it goes well with like them releasing a brush set. And then we also have these hair clips. I'm currently wearing it right now. I got mine in the pink shade, but there's actually 4 colors in total and they are super cute. I love these hair bows. They are so my style. I have one from your style in a cream color, so I'm happy that I have another one in a different shade. They have this green one that is just so cute. Like I really want to get all of them because I love the color schemes. But yeah, they do have these to offer in their collection and this goes for about $8 US as well. The quality is really great. The clip is really great too. And then lastly in the collection we have this velvet makeup bag, but this actually is not for sale. The only way you can get this is if you purchase all 3 palettes and the brush set, I believe. You will get this as a gift with your purchase and you can choose which shade you want. So I have mine in the green, but they also have one in a pink color, and I believe there is 600 of each shade, so it's definitely first come first serve. But the quality of the makeup bag is really nice. I love the velvet and I'm happy that I got the green. So on the outside it is velvet, and when you open it up you have the space to put your brushes in here, and it has that beautiful emerald silk So pretty. I love that. But then you also get another clear bag in here as well. So you can put your skincare in here and then your makeup in here, or you can put your makeup in here if you don't want to get the bag dirty. So that's pretty much what's in the new Saga of Freya collection. Let's go ahead and move into the reviews now. There is going to be timestamps down below here if you want to skip to any certain part, because it is going to be a long video, I feel. So let's go ahead and start talking about the mega palette, not mega palette, the bigger palette, the Saga of Freya palette. And like I mentioned before, it is that duo side. I will say that it is a little like chunky for me. I feel like using this palette when you're laying it flat, because this side is so heavy, this side is bound to just close up naturally. So I found that happening a lot. That's just a very minor critique I have for it. It really doesn't take away from the shadows or anything, because the shadows are really beautiful, but it was just a little chunky to use and I feel like it just doesn't lay well. But let's talk about the pink side first, because I'm obsessed. I love wearing these type of shades, like these pink romantic shades. I think it just suits my skin tone really well. Pink is one of my favorite colors, and pink is one of my favorite like colorful colors to wear. There's nothing that I can really critique about it. They have transitions, they have medium tones, they have the dark tones in the matte, and then the metallics are really pretty as well. I love Oden'S metallics. They are super pretty, packed with like little micro glitters that give you that extremely sparkly effect, which I love. And all the finishes in here are quite similar. Some are a little more metallic than others, but for the most part they have that very intense glittery metallic effect, which I absolutely love. And there's a good variation within the metallics as well, so I feel like there's a lot you can do with this. And I really just enjoyed this side of the palette. Like, I love the look that I created. So speaking about the look that I created, let's go ahead and hop into that look first. To start off this eye look, I'm going to go in with the shade Love, and this is going to be our transition shadow. So I'm just going to work that straight into my crease using windshield wiping motions. You want to make sure you are blending this up towards your brow bone, also towards the outer corners, as this is also going to be our base color as well. So I'm also going to take the same shadow onto my lower lash line, just sweeping that from the outer corner right to the inner corner. Next, going into the shade Passion, I'm going to start focusing this at the outer corners of my eyes, and this shade is super pigmented. You don't need a lot, but it blends out so well. So you can see I'm just stamping on the product at the outer corner, and then I'll slowly blend that up into the transition shadow and also towards the middle of my lid. I'm also going to take Passion onto my lower lash line as well, but this time I'm going to take it on a defining brush and press that up against my waterline. Next, going into the shade Deep Thoughts, I'm going to place this again at the outer corners of my eyes, but this time around I am using a much smaller brush, and I'm only going to be taking a little bit of the shadow just to deepen out the outer corners ever so slightly. And just using that same rounded pencil brush, I'm going to take that onto just the outermost of my lower lash. And then taking the shade Care, I'm going to place this at the inner third of my lid space. I'm going to take this into my inner corners as well. I even take this onto my lower lash line at the inner third just to highlight that inner corner region. And this is a really beautiful glittery metallic. The sparkles are so pretty, and I think it complement the red berry tones super well, but you will need to build up the shadow a little bit. And next, taking the shade Mystery, I'm going to place this right at the center of my eyes, sort of where the gold metallic meets the matte. I'm going to use Mystery to help blend the colors together, and it's also going to give a little bit more berry dimension to the eye look. So now I'm just going to go ahead and finish up my eye look. I'm going to go in with my black liquid liner to create my wing. I'll also take a black matte eyeshadow to help smudge and extend that wing out. I'm going to take a nude eyeliner into my bottom waterline, and then I'm just going to be popping on my false lashes. Alright, so now we're hopping into the blue side of the palette, and at first I really did like the idea of this, but I did struggle a lot with this green shade up in the corner here called Defend, and I actually filmed one look on a separate day, and I just scrap the look because I just struggled so much with that shadow. And on the second day I filmed it, I did want to use it again and it was okay. It's just with the shadow, you have to really pack it on, and once you pack it on and you want to blend it out, you kind of blend away all of the pigment. It's like a very sheer green, and I feel like it can look a little patchy and muddy, which is so odd because with other shadows from Oden'S I've never had this issue with. I think it's just this specific type of green. It was just really hard to work with, if I'm being honest, but everything else was great. I do feel like you do get a mixture of metallics in here. This one down here called Spark, it almost looks like a pressed glitter on the eyes. To the touch it feels like a metallic, but the effect it gives is like a glitter. And then this one up here called Promise, it has that like super shock type of feel, like that really putty feeling. So there is a bit more variation in the metallics in this side. So with that being said, let's hop into my look that I created with this side of the palette. First, starting off with the shade Truth, this is going to be our transition shadow, so I'm just going to work that straight into my crease using windshield wiping motions, blending that up towards my brows and also towards the outer corners. We're also going to take this onto our lower lash line as well on that same brush, just sweeping that from the outer corner right to the inner corner, making sure at the outer corner point we are connecting the shadows. Next, I'm going to go into the shade Intelligent, and I'm going to start packing this one on all over my lid space. I'll sort of pack it on my lid and then I'll slowly blend that up into my crease, but I don't want to overtake the shadow Truth, our transition shadow. We want that slow gradient, but I think Intelligent and Truth blend so well into each other that it creates a very soft blend. So I'm also going to take that onto my lower lash line as well. And next, going into the shade Strength, we are doing sort of the same thing, but we're taking a smaller brush and we're going to pack this one on more onto the lid and less into the crease. So we're going to focus it quite low to the lash line and then just focus it to the lid space, and you can blend it into the crease slightly just to get that blend, but we don't want to overtake that orange because we want the orange still to peek out. Because it's a really dark shadow, you just want to take your time packing it on. You want to build it up and go in with a little, then going in with too much and then not being able to blend that out. So we're also going to take this onto our lower lash line as well, but this time I'm going to take it on a defining brush and I'm going to press that up against my waterline. And then taking the shade Inherit, I'm going to pretty much dust this all over the lid space. This is going to act as sort of like an eyeshadow topper. It's just going to give the overall eye look a dimension and a little bit of sparkle, but it's not going to take away from the smokiness. And now going into the shade Defend, we're going to start packing this one on at the inner corners of our eyes. I really wanted to incorporate this green into the eye look because I think the color combo with the green and the orange is quite unique, so I really want to play with this shadow, but it was very difficult to work with. It's very hard to pack on that pigment, and then once you blend it out, all that pigment sort of just fades away. And I would say when you're using the shadow, just be, you know, a little bit more cautious and take your time using the shadow because it is a little bit more trickier to work with. We're then going to go into the shade Spark, and we're going to apply this right on top of Defend, and this is just going to help enhance that green a little bit. I think Spark is a very unique shade. It almost looks like a pressed glitter almost. That's just how intense the sparkles are, and there's a lot of dimension in this glitter. I can see golds, I can see greens. So with all of those glitters, I think the shadow really does shine on top of Defend, and it kind of just brings the look together. So now to just quickly finish off the look, I'm going to take my black liquid liner and I'm going to create a fairly dramatic wing. I do go in with my matte black eyeshadow to help smudge that wing out. I'm also going to go in with a pencil eyeliner to tightline my bottom waterline just to give us the ultimate smoky effect. And then popping on my false lashes, I'm going in with the same lashes I used in the previous look, Meant to Be from Bold Face Makeup. Alright, so next palette, let's hop into chapter 1. We have Tears of Freya. This is the Amber Tears palette, and it's a palette that I'm currently wearing right now, and I really like this palette too. I would say I do like the pink side in this palette more than chapter 1. I feel like these tones are just a little bit more me. This one's a little bit softer, and this one with the metallics in here, you do get a lot more variation. You have the shade Tears over here, which has that really putty feeling, and it has that marble striping in there as well. There's a little bit more variation in these mini palettes when it comes to texture and finishes and metallics. But I feel like for a 9-pan palette, you do get a good variation in here. There's a lot you definitely can do with this, and I really do like the eye look that I created, but I definitely do like the look in the pink side of the Saga Freya palette more than this one, but still I really do like the look. So I'll quickly show you how this was achieved. First, taking the shade Amethyst as our transition shadow and base color, we're going to work that straight into our crease using windshield wiping motions, blending that up towards the brow bone and also towards the outer corners. I'm also going to take that onto my lower lash line as well, just sweeping the shadow from the outer corner right to the inner corner, creating a very diffuse look. Next, I'm going to dive into the shade Red Coral, and we're going to start packing this one on at the outer corners of our eyes. I'm going to first pack on the shadow and then slowly blend that up into my crease and also towards the center of my eyes, but we do want the most pigmentation to go right at the outer corner, and then we can go ahead and further blend that shadow out. I'm also going to take this shadow on a defining brush, and I'm just going to press this up against my waterline. And next I'm taking the shade Pink Ice, and I'm going to place this right at the inner third of our lid space. It's super glittery, has a lot of dimension in there, so we're going to take that into our inner corners and also at the inner third on our lower lash line as well. So now I'm just going to go ahead and actually take my liquid liner to create my wing, and then I'll go in with my matte black eyeshadow to extend and smudge this wing out. And then of course I'm just going to be popping on my false lashes. And now we're on to chapter 2. We have Cat with golden carriage, and this packaging is so cute. Anything with a cat on it, it's so cute. I love this. And this color story I just find to be so unique. I love that blue and orange contrast, and I think out of the 3 palettes, this one would have to be possibly my favorite, just because the color story is really nice, and again you get that variation of finishes within the metallics. We have that striped metallic here, we have something that's a little bit more chunky with like a bit more glitters in there, and then we just have the traditional Oden'S eye glitter metallic. And I think the contrast between the blues and the oranges pair really well, and these shadows were really easy to work with. Even though they are so bright and pastel, I had no issues with that. So I really did enjoy this palette, and I feel like in my collection this one's probably a lot more unique than the others. I feel like all these other ones I could probably already dupe, but this one I just feel like is a little bit more special. So with that being said, let's hop into the look that I did with chapter 2. So first, going in with the shade Catnip, I'm going to work this at the outer corners of my eyes, just really packing on this shadow and blending that out towards the outer corners. We want to stop this shadow towards the middle of our lids, but as you can see, this pastel blue is so pigmented. I think it's probably one of the best pastel blues I've tried. It was so easy to blend as well. So we're also going to take that onto our lower lash line as well, just making sure we are connecting the shadows at the outer corner point. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Warmth, and I'm going to start packing this one on at the inner third of my eyes. This is sort of going to be like a duo eye effect, so we're going to place this at the inner third, doing exactly the same thing, just packing that one on and then slowly blending that up towards the crease area, towards the middle where the orange and blue is going to meet. You kind of just want to use windshield wiping motions to get this blended into each other, and of course you can go back and forth with your brushes. And then going in with the shade Bad Temper, we're just going to work this at the outer corners of our eyes on top of Catnip. We're using a really small blending brush because we want to focus this a little bit lower. We don't want to overtake that pastel blue, but we still want a bit of definition at the outer third. So we're just going to stamp it on there and blend it out slowly. I also take this onto my lower lash line as well. I'm just pressing this up against my waterline with a defining brush. So then I'm going to go into the shade Bling, and I'm going to place this right at the center where that blue and orange meet. I feel like this is just going to help blend those two contrasting colors together, but it's also going to add more dimension and add more blue to the look. And then I'll go in with the shade Soft, and I'm going to pack this one on top of Warmth, which is the orange, so right at the inner third there, right next to Bling. And I feel like just the color combo with this and the combination, it just gives off a really pretty color combo. So we're just going to place that right at the inner third of our lid, at the inner corners, and then a little bit on the lower lash line as well. So now I'm going to go in with my black liquid liner as usual to create my wing, and then just using a matte black eyeshadow to help smudge that wing out. I'm also using the cream gel liner from Colourpop in the shade Zulu to tightline my bottom waterline. I thought this would be a nice eyeliner to match with the blue shadow. And then I'm just going to be popping on my false lashes. So that was my review on the palettes. I hope you guys enjoyed all of those looks. Let's go ahead and wrap up this review. We have a couple more little things to just chat about. So let's talk about the brush set. I feel like this is so worth it. It goes for about $35 and you get this beautiful brush holder, which is so convenient as well. But then also the brushes in here I really do like. I did get sent some of their older eye brushes and I personally didn't really like those ones as much. I feel like these ones just have a better quality to them than their previous ones, and also the shape of these are definitely eye brush shapes that I use a lot. I will say that a lot of the brushes are more like on the flatter side, great for like packing on shadow. Not a lot of them have more that rounded fluffy effect. But honestly, for these 6 brushes, I have used all of them within my 4 looks. I can see myself continue using these brushes. They are very soft. I have washed them multiple times. I don't see any straying or anything. So yeah, I really do like these. I would recommend these ones as well. I feel like you can never have too many eye brushes. I feel like they always come in handy. I kind of mentioned this in the beginning, but I didn't get to use the brush cleaner just frankly because I don't know how to use it. Like, do I just swirl my brush in here with nothing? No, surely not. That's probably not how it goes, right? I'm pretty sure you gotta add, oh, you do just swirl it in here. I will Google this afterwards, don't worry. I might look really dumb right now, but it's kind of working. Wow. That's really cool, actually. Oh, that is really cool. But I do feel like this method might be too harsh for brushed hairs, and I just have a really specific way, not really specific way, I just have this habit of cleaning my brushes how I normally do, so I don't think this is something that I would use all the time, but it definitely would come in handy, and it's not too pricey either. But I don't know how much these typically go for. My top recommendations from this collection would have to be the Chapter 2 Cat's Breath palette. I think the color story is just really beautiful and unique, and there's just a lot of different textures in here as well, so would recommend that. Would also recommend the brush set as well. I think it's totally worth it for 6 brushes and a cup holder that's really pretty and unique. $35, I think it is a good price for that. And then of course I would recommend the hair bows as well because I just love these. But yeah, you guys, that is going to conclude today's review. That was everything in their new collection. I believe I am uploading this video before the collection launches, so hopefully you guys found this video helpful in deciding if you wanted to get anything up based off my recommendations, based on the performance, based on my looks and everything like that. So if you guys did enjoy this video and you found it helpful, if you could give the video a thumbs up for me, I would appreciate it so much. And I would also love to know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of this collection? What do you guys think of Oden'S Eye? I would love to hear your thoughts down below. And with that being said, that is it for today's video. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!